Firstly, let's move to the introduction. As we know, air is one of the important elements in our lives, especially for the human beings, animals, and plants. It contains the invisible mixture of gases that surrounds the earth, such as the oxygen and nitrogen, which most species need to survive. This is because without the air, Earth would be just like the other lifeless planets in our solar system, without any plants, animals, as well as human beings. However, this leads to the air pollution due to the human activities or contributions to the environment and ecosystem. For example, wildfires which cause from the burning stubbles and farm residue, it being one of the most pressing environmental concerns nowadays. Air pollution is a serious problem in many parts of the world. According to Joe Thomas 2017, air pollution refers to any chemical, physical, or biological change which causes the atmosphere to become dirty and thus risks not only our own potential for survival but also other animals and plants. Surely, this can decrease the air quality, which can harm to the people's health and other living things, as well as cause harm to the environment. Malaysia has no exception in this issue, whereby according to Air Quality Index 2020, Malaysia is ranked 58th place amongst all countries of the world in air pollution. One of the main contributions towards air pollution in Malaysia is because of haze. The huge clouds of haze and smoke that come from open burning sources, which can occur locally in the countryside and rural areas, forest areas, and huge volumes of organic waste are being burned off. For example, Penang Environment Department Director Sharifah Zakia shared received 374 complaints on open burning as of June 30 in 2021, whereby the garbage burning accounted for 72% of the open burning cases, while 13% due to the burning of waste products. So, the objective here is to discuss what is the main factor and cause of the haze issue in Malaysia, as well as what recommendations can be given to solve the issue. This is crucial to make the people open their eyes to what's happening, plus it can maintain sustainable development in the country for the future. So next, we proceed with the nature of the issue. As we know that haze in Malaysia is not a new phenomena, as it was first recorded back in the year 1982 when regional haze from biomass burning disrupted daily life in Malaysia. It continuously happens until now, whereby the haze issue is commonly associated with forest fires in Indonesia and to a lesser extent Malaysia. According to Helena Varke 2019, for most years, the haze is narrow locally and it is communities living closest to the fire that must cope with the dangerous conditions. This can be shown in 2019, one of the worst hit areas was Seri Aman in Sarawak, which recorded its highest air pollution index at 414, which led to the hazardous range. Based on New Straits Times, it shows Sarawak one of the states that are affected other than the state from Peninsular Malaysia, such as Klang, Shah Alam, Putrajaya, and also Petaling Jaya, which shows the unhealthy air pollution level for its API. It means that the haze will get worse if the open burning in the neighboring country was left uncontrolled. This issue is crucial to be solved because it is not only affect the human beings but also the environment, so that it is very important to ensure that the welfare of people being preserved as well as the environment for the future generation.
Next, we continue with the causes of haze in Malaysia. World Health Organization guidelines, the air quality in Malaysia is considered moderately unsafe, which the most recent data indicates the country's annual mean concentration of PM2.5 is 16 microgram per cubic meter. Human activities have an adverse effect on the environment by polluting the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the soil in which plants grow. Although the Industrial Revolution was a great success in terms of technology, society, and the provision of multiple services, it also resulted in the release of massive amounts of pollutants into the air that are hazardous to human health. This problem can cause a bad impact to our acute symptoms. It not only will affect human health, but it also will have a negative impact to our environment and other habitats. There are three factors that contribute to Malaysian haze. The first causes of haze in Malaysia is due to the exhaust gas from mobile emission sources such as motor vehicles, especially in urban areas. According to CEIC data, in December 2020, the number of registered automobiles in Malaysia was reported to be over 17 million units. The number of motor vehicles continued to increase, and cities with heavy traffic are exposed to a high level of nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and particulate matter. Black smoke from diesel automobiles has been the source of countless public complaints. The main cause of this problem is Malaysians' reliance on private vehicles. People in Malaysia must reduce the usage of private vehicles and instead use public transportation to go out, such as go to work. Next, transpondary haze from Indonesia is the contributory component that causes haze in Malaysia. The 2015 Southeast Asian haze was caused by mass illegal burning in Indonesia and resulted in over a month of haze in Malaysia, Singapore, and part of Thailand. This incident resulted school closure and interrupting air travel. The burning usually peaks from July to October during Indonesia dry season. Due to dry season, many farmers take advantage of the conditions to clear vegetation for palm oil, plum, and pepper plantation using the slash and burn method. Every year, Indonesia air pollution affects countries throughout Southeast Asia. Even though this accident occurs every year and affects not only Indonesia but also other countries, the government of Indonesia still did not have any effective solution to curb this issue. Causes of air pollution in Malaysia is industrial activities. Urban areas with the most industrial activities such as Klang Selangor, Kuala Lumpur and Kuching Sarawak have become Malaysia's most polluted cities. Massive amount of organic substances such as carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons and chemicals are released into the atmosphere as a result of industrial process. During dry weather, air pollution is worse because developers and contractors may take full advantage of the weather to drive their construction project forward. It will result in a substantially bigger amount of dust being released into the air than usual.
Malaysia environmental laws and policy appear to have fallen far short of their promise. In addition, the Malaysian government has enacted a number of international environmental laws. Environmental law is a term that applies to all aspects of the law that protect the environment. In Malaysia, there is a plenty of environmental legislation that is overseen by a few ministry and departments. According to Section 43 of Environmental Quality Act 1974, it was amended in 2007 to extend liability or punishment for offense that against the EQA to any person who was a director, chief executive officer, manager, or any other similar officer or partner of a company, firm, or society at the time of the offense. The Act goal is to prevent, eliminate, and control pollution while also improving environmental quality. From 1985 to 2012, this Act was amended a few times. According to Section 29A of Environmental Law, open burning is completely prohibited, and any person is strictly prohibited from causing open burning on any premises or land. This section carries an Rm 500,000 fine and a 5-year prison sentence or both. Nonetheless, Section 29AA was later added to provide some exceptions to certain open burning activities in the form of declared activities, as listed in the Environmental Quality Order 2003. Until now, Malaysia lacks a suitable legal framework on the subject. Environmental legislation at the ASEAN level, countries' cooperation in the area of environmental protection has grown. Nonetheless, transboundary haze pollution is one of the most contentious issues concerning ASEAN environmental cooperation. ASEAN has agreed to uphold a 2002 haze pollution agreement, with Indonesia becoming the last member to do so in 2014. The agreement primarily established the framework for ASEAN countries to collaborate in the event of haze outbreak. It contains no provision that allow member states to seek damages, reparation, or compensation from the offending state. Simultaneously, it is unclear whether this agreement will be effective in combating a growth haze epidemic. The Department of Environment is the government agency in charge of enforcing a provision of the EQA and initiating enforcement proceedings in the event of violation. One of DOE's responsibilities is to conduct annual inspection of factories that discharge industrial effluent. As a result, the department's authority and responsibility should be expanded to assist them in conducting investigation and enforcing the law.
Haze is not a new issue for Malaysia. In fact, the haze crisis has existed for decades, and the government is constantly striving to develop effective and efficient solutions to the haze issue. This haze phenomena tends to be an annual affair in Southeast Asia, including Malaysia.
The first recommendation for resolving these issues is development of farming practices. Haze is caused by pollutants in the air. Natural phenomena or human act can both contribute to the pollution. Open burning of garbage at landfills, large-scale burning of industrial waste, land clearing and open burning of agricultural waste, and uncontrolled logging and burning of forest products are all the sources of haze. Moreover, open burning was occur from the neighbor countries' agriculture. The practice of burning peat soil for the purpose of soil fertilization has become common in the agricultural sector. The usage of biomass components in peat soils have been discovered as a potential source of alternative energy. Furthermore, the advancement of biochar technology is thought to be reducing agricultural openness. The government can use it as one of the effective solutions for the agriculture sector to reduce open burning activities by using the available resources. Next, the second recommendation is regional cooperation. Haze is a type of air pollution that can occur anywhere, not just in Malaysia. Indeed, this haze can happen from the impacts of open burning in neighbor countries, where the haze smoke is carried across the border by the wind. Thus, ASEAN countries' collaboration in resolving the haze problem is critical in reducing ongoing pollution. As that, Indonesia and Malaysia own the majority of Southeast Asia peat swamp forests. It is both countries' responsibility to design this ecologically vital carbon sink as a protected area, which can also help the Asian international reputation. On June 10, 2002, ASEAN member nations signed the Asian Agreement on Transboundary Haze Pollution in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This agreement was the world's first regional initiative aimed at mitigating and preventing haze pollution through improved regional and global cooperation and coordinated national efforts. This agreement provides ASEAN with the finest opportunity to collaborate in order to discuss and obtain international support so that it may continue to function and enforce regional regulations. The 10 countries are united in their support and solidarity. ASEAN may be able to regulate and limit the occurrence of haze in order to preserve the people's health and keep the country's environment on the high alert. Action to solve the haze problem does not have to be taken solely by the government. In fact, each individual's actions are important in implementing haze prevention measures in Malaysia. Controlling and reducing pollution in the country is similar to looking after people's health and lives.
As we can see, air pollution in ASEAN communities, countries and continents is still in a worrying state and having a detrimental effect. Therefore, we must take lessons from the issue of air pollution, specifically haze. Firstly, as an individuals, we should always remind ourselves not to do or support any activities that lead to air pollutions. For example, activities such as burning rubbish around the house are also discouraged as they contribute to air pollution even in low indices. In addition, we must also be a responsible individuals or citizens by remembering the surrounding community, such as family members and our neighbors, to together prevent activities that cause air pollution. All of this is in order to protect the quality of the environment and the well-being of human life. Furthermore, the second lesson learned is we must abide by the laws that have been enacted by the government. With the law, it will be able to reduce the risk of environmental pollution because with the law, it will protect the land, the water, and the air from being destroyed by humans. In addition, the law will control human attitudes and actions from damaging the environment. Therefore, we must do our best to comply with the law to control the haze pollution from getting worse, also at the same time to prevent us from being sued and get legal action. Moreover, what can be learned from haze pollution is we must increase awareness of the state of our environment. With a high level of awareness along with action, then our environment will be protected from destruction. As we know, it is human activities that cause our environment to be affected. Therefore, we must be responsible for what we have done. Awareness of the environment is also important so that the future of next generation will be secure with a good environment. This is because they are the ones who will be severely affected if pollution to the environment is not controlled from now on. Thus, we must change our attitude and level of awareness so that the environment is better maintained and its quality is guaranteed. Overall, based on the above issue of haze pollution, we can conclude that haze is not a pollution that we should set aside even though it has been happening for a long time. However, we must work together to curb this haze pollution from continuing to spread. The use of private cars should be reduced, especially in urban areas. This is because it is one of the causes of air pollution that occurs in urban areas. Therefore, we must increase the use of public services such as light rail transit and buses. Apart from that, the issue of haze that occurred in Indonesia should be made a warning to us in Malaysia. We must reduce the burning of agricultural areas as done by Indonesia because it caused the surrounding countries to be affected by the effects of the smoke. It also has a detrimental effect on human health. Furthermore, the government must always be sensitive and true with all the management and economic planning of the country. This includes controlling industrial activities in the country, which, if left unchecked, it will damage the environment and our air quality.